What's up, everyone? This is Tatum. I'm back with another episode of Flowers. For those that's new to my channel, this is my segment where I like to give some of my favorite albums their recognition. So today, I'm going to be talking about an album that's approaching. By the time this drop, it'll be its 20th anniversary, which is freaking bananas. Crazy to think about it in retrospect. I'm getting old. Without further ado, though, today I'm going to be discussing Alicia Keys' songs in A minor.
What?
This album, it really was a groundbreaking album, man. Like, I could really say that. And I don't know if you had to live through the Alicia Keys era to understand that the way I do. It's you had to be there when she first came on the scene, and it was just different. And this album was just different, and hits and R&B. It was just a beautiful piece of work. And she was only 20 when the album came out, and she was younger writing the songs. Like, it's a song on here she written when she was like 14, 15. So, and her struggle through the music industry, from going from this record company to this record company, then ending up with Clyde Davis at J Records. And Clyde David has a thing where he sees greatness, and especially R&B female singers. Like, he gets it. Whitney Houston, you know what I mean? So I think Alicia Keys, and we saw from the jump, was just off the tree of one of the greats. Like, she's one of those artists that comes around every 10 years, like a generational artist. She's up there with the Aretha Franklins, the Whitney Houstons, the Patti LaBelle. She's in that era and that aura to me. And I just wanted to shed light on a couple songs. I don't want to take up too much time. I want to talk about some of my favorite songs on here, and just show appreciation to this album on its 20th anniversary. So let's get into it. The album starts with Piano and I, and she's incorporating like classical piano with 90s hip hop, and it was like clashing so great. Like and even her whole vibe was just something different that we haven't seen before. She wasn't like this in your face, body all in your face type of R&B singer or female singer that they were pushing a lot in that era, but more just like, my talent is gonna outshine everything. And she had just the braids and the scarf and the piano. Like, it was just a dope. Like it made you want to root for her in a way. And Piano and I, she talks about that journey a bit. Like, I know it took so long, and and she's talking about how long it took for her to get to this point. And then boom, the first official track is Girlfriend, produced by Jermaine Dupri. And that shit is so hard. Pardon my language, but that shit is so hard. One thing that always works, and is I guess you can credit it to Mary J. Blige, right? Like, Queen of Hip Hop Soul. But I love it when an R&B singer makes a great love record over a hard, like, classic hip hop beat. So like the ODB sample, the way it was flipped, and I think I'm jealous of your girlfriend, although she's just a girl that is your friend. Like, that is so fucking dope. like, because not only is it relatable, I'm sure, but it's hard. No matter what the fucking subject, no matter what she's talking about, the song itself is just hard. The melody of it is just hard. And I think that was a great first record. And I think that wasn't even released first. I think that was like the fourth single off the album. And it's dope because I think it played in the Fallen video, but it was like a continuation thing with her. A couple other videos from the album where it would play songs like the next single or the single that came before, like on the radio or just out. Like, I thought that was dope marketing. How Come You Don't Call Me Anymore? And that record is one of the reasons why I say she's in that red era of the Aretha Franklins and just those classic R&B soul black singers and singers in general. But just comparing her to them, that song's so amazing. Like, her vocal performance on there, and that's another thing. Her vocal performance was so great. Like, her vocal performance so great. And the time that she came out, it wasn't like she had to battle, bro. It was Jill Scott. It was India Arie, Erykah Badu still there. It was a lot of neo soul. That crown was there for the taking. You know what I mean? Not there for the taking to make it seem like it was a rivalry kind of thing, but like, she had the competition was steep. You know what I mean? So How Come You Don't Call Me Anymore? Again, that subject on there is just so fucking dope. And just her and her piano, just taking it back to the basics, man. It's just a great great start off to the record. Falling to Alicia Keys is like Whitney Houston's And I Would Always Love You. Like that's her biggest record, monumental record. It's a smash hit. Like we don't even get hits like that anymore. Like the last one we did get, I think, was the Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak record. That's just like, this is a hit. When you hear Falling for the first time, you just automatically, it just automatically catch you. You know it's a hit. It's R&B, it's soul. Her subject matter is off the charts. The video to go along with it, with the sisters riding to the prison to go see their love. And that's a tough situation for anyone in that system. But that song and her, just even with the second verse, so many classic moments like never felt this way, to the hums like the gospel, dum dum, the orchestra, the violin, like the background vocals. It's everything is just perfect about that song. The build up towards the end of the climax, it's just everything about that song is just top notch. Like when they finished that song, they had to know it was a hit. Rock With You, Woman's Worth. I looked at a documentary and she said she wrote that Thanksgiving night. The commercial came on, Because You're Worth It came on, and it inspired her to make that song. And that song, man, I remember the era of that song being out, that and Falling, and just how women gravitated towards it and how it made them feel, and just the uplifting aspect of the record. I just think, and her flow on it, and like her flow on there was just, man, it's so much beautiful music on this record. Jane Doe, which is funny, I honestly love that production on that record, and Candy from Escape wrote it with her, and she's on the record as well. And it's funny, like the 90s and 2000s, like, yeah, this is A Keys Candy collab. Like it was like they always did stuff like that. But and that you could tell it was hip hop and Alicia Keys roots. I really enjoyed listening back to it recently. I really enjoyed the production of that record. Even the subject on there, like I Can't Lose My Man, or something to a Jane Doe type of thing to it. So it was a really good record. The Life is literally, it has to be an ode to Mary J. Blige, from the way she's singing it to the choice of sample. It sounds just like an ode to Mary J. Blige. And I appreciate her for that, because I imagine Mary J. Blige was very influential to Alicia Keys growing up, like she was to all black women growing up in the 90s. So it was just dope to see that homage being paid. Never Felt This Way, that's just the Brian McKnight cover. It was cool the way they stripped it down and made that. Brian McKnight wrote another record on here too, or produced another record on here. Butterflies, I remember her saying that was the first record she ever wrote, and she wrote that as a teen, and about, she thought she was in love at the time, and that's what that record's about. You give me butterflies. I love her. Alicia Keys in the prime of her career was just, man, just a great fucking artist. And she's still great today. But just thinking about the moment, like I think she won like 5 Grammys for this album. Just thinking back that moment that and then her next album, oh my God, like she was on a run. Why Do I Feel So Sad? Great record. Cage Bird is probably one of my favorites on the record, inspired by Maya Angelou's book, Why Cage Bird Sings. And that song gives me goosebumps, even to this day, listening back to it and listening to the lyrics of it. That's a fucking great record, man. If you haven't listened to this album, go back and just check out that record, and like, that song is really, really good. And it's only one verse. And she ends it with Loving You, which is a great, I thought it was a great love ballad just to end it with. And I think her and Crucial Keys did a great job with the production. That's one thing I forgot to mention, that she produced and wrote majority of the album. I know those publishing checks and royalties had to be insane. But let me get into my best songs. Girlfriend, Fallen, and Cage Bird as the best. Worst song, I'm going to go with Loving You. Best line, she says, I know why Cage Bird sings, only joy can come from song. She's so rare and beautiful to others. Why not set her free? And that's on the Cage Bird, but obviously, but that line stuck out to me the most. But let's wrap this shit up though. In closing, Alicia Keys' songs in A minor, bona fide classic. There's nothing anyone can say to convince me otherwise. I think the songs on here are so monumental, from Fallen to Girlfriend to A Woman's Worth, especially. You just had to be there to know. And those songs that I mentioned, especially Fallen and A Woman's Worth, those are going to live forever. Those songs are so powerful that those records are more than music. You know what I mean? So, and just to have a young black woman create this at the age that she was at is, come on, man. Like I said, she's a generational talent. She's gonna be up there with the Aretha Franklins and the Patti LaBelles and the Whitney Houstons and all the greats that you could think of, the Barbra Streisand. She's up there with those type of people. Like when you hear Alicia Keys' names, that's big name moniker. That's big shit. So I just wanted to give flowers to Songs in A Minor on its 20th anniversary. One of my favorite albums. I grew up with it. I was 11 when this album came out, which is crazy. As always, though, I'm Tatum. Peace.